All right, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100. Again, we saw some selling yesterday. We saw a little bit of a pullback, but ultimately, again, we're making new all-time highs once again. It's like the story just keeps on repeating and the money keeps on printing. Now, I will say again, we knew that this week was going to be a shorter week. So a few things that happened. Number one, Monday was the last day of a month, which typically action is just overall terrible, which it was. And then obviously tomorrow is going to be a half day, and then Friday the market is closed. Important to understand those things. So tomorrow the market will close at around noon, I believe, Central Time for me. So important to understand that. Now, all things considered, when you're looking at the market, we look at something like QQQ, right? NASDAQ, you're still basically at all-time highs. You can see you kind of pulled back. Ultimately stayed above 540 like we talked about. Wasn't able to make a video yesterday, had some stuff going on. But again, important to understand why we look at these key levels, why we understand why they are there. So when you start to see these pullbacks, you understand exactly what you're looking for. Even me, I was looking at something like NVIDIA. I was like, man, what is kind of going on here, right? You're getting a pretty decent sized pullback. You went back below your previous all-time high, but ultimately you held above it. It was what you wanted to see. Go to something here like on the daily here, and NVIDIA looks like an absolute tank. Looks like a beast. It looks like Jerome Bettis entering the red zone. Only good things happen, right? So again, you can see here, let's just get rid of these levels so you can just clearly see what we're looking at. And this was your level right here. This is the daily. This was your previous all-time high, as you can see clearly mounting that spot. It's as good as it could get, right? Important to understand that. And it's not just NVIDIA. You also have AVGO coming back into basically 270, getting back into all-time highs. And then you also go into a name like Apple, which has not been performing very good. We talked a lot about this one previously, but as you can see, this was your 2023 highs there, which are mounting above, and you shot up over the past 2 days based off their new AI news and what's happening with Siri and the partnership with ChatGPT and Anthropic, I believe is the company, but what's happening there as well. So a lot of stuff to attack, and I do believe tomorrow is more of a setup day and positioning for real continuation to occur next week, and we'll talk a lot about that. Now, before I go any further, I do want to say right now, if you are interested, the Discord link is down below. You get to see our futures rundown every single morning before market even opens. I tell you where I'm looking at, upside, downside, etc. And then you go more into our technicals and seeing what the quick trades are throughout the day. 270, 271 here on AVGO, looking for the break to retest. Look at AVGO. Intraday, you actually had two setups here, which was pretty awesome. But you can actually see as you zoom in here what happened here. The only scalps we mentioned here on the day, break up, retest, shot back into our level 272, 271.5. Awesome there overall. And then we have more trades mentioned in the actual chat. Jay mentioned trades on Coinbase, what he's looking at there. We mentioned Netflix all throughout the day. So again, you see all the profits, everything like that. If you want to be like literally told what to do all day, every day, this might not be the place for you. But if you want to understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, all these setups, having community traders built around you, then it might be the place for you as well. So again, every morning we're live in Discord or on WAP. It just depends. WAP has been messing up lately, so I haven't been able to do it. But again, important to understand that's all there for you. The link is down below. Now, jumping back into this, looking at next week. That's really what I'm doing. I'll probably trade a little bit tomorrow, but nothing crazy. I'm really looking forward to next week and what's happening there. Now, a few things to understand. I want to be really clear. There are some fundamental things I'm concerned about right now because number one, we are approaching the deadline of July 9th for tariffs, right? In most of these trade deals. Now, it seems like we are rushing to get trade deals done with a few. Like today, Trump announced a Vietnam deal had been done. China's deals are getting worked out. Thinks we're going to get an EU deal, things along those lines, right? India being pushed out right now. It's important to realize that there are some deals that aren't working out. Japan being one of the big ones. He mentioned this yesterday, Trump did. He doubts the deal will get done. He's okay. We're going to throw tariffs on him. The end. We'll see what happens after that. But it's going to negatively impact them. And Japan's market getting hurt will indirectly affect us. Important to understand that as well. We'll talk about that later on. But also the EU, I don't think that a deal is going to get done there either. They're trying to play tough ball with what's happening with their tariffs and what they're trying to do there. So we'll see how we progress. But ultimately, those are the areas of caution as we approach next week. As of right now, from a technical viewpoint, it's very hard to get bearish or be concerned because, again, you are continuing to make higher highs and higher lows here on SPY. I mean, this is the one. Let's go to the 1 hour chart, right? Clear as day, you're just moving up. This is bullish behavior. I don't care what anyone says. I just don't care, okay? Bullish behavior is making higher highs and higher lows. If you're doing that, there's no reason to be concerned. If you are one of the concerned people, you either are delirious, delusional, or you just don't know what the hell you're doing, which it's okay to not know what you're doing, but just take a step back, ask questions, and then move forward from that. So important to be thinking about that as well. Also worth mentioning, look at SMH Semiconductors, which again was really the one that took a hit and what really pulled you back on Tuesday. bouncing back above. We noticed the lower highs already being made, but now you're breaking out, broke over highs, and you mounted. So again, giving you a clear visual here, right? Mark out your high right there. Not only did you break it today, but then you mounted it for basically 5 hours there. That's as good as it can get. That is the definition of bullish behavior. And again, if semiconductors are leading us, we're probably in good hands. I'm just saying. These are, again, the same signs that you want to see over and over and over. This is a good sign to see. So I am happy looking at that and happy that overall where we're at and moving forward from here as well. Okay, now a step further from this, we go into something like Dow, which I think Dow has kind of been the least interesting of all indexes. However, yesterday, this was the only thing that I traded. Funny enough, I traded nothing really on stocks yesterday. And again, the big, massive move here. And again, I will say that I said clearly that I was kind of like bearish on what Dow was doing. But again, it's important to understand what you're looking at and why you're looking at and being able to adjust when you see things changing. So jokingly, I literally said at 843 because look, at market open, if we reject, I'd be looking at down ES for the downside because NASDAQ is stronger. I quickly adjusted everything that I was doing. Audible, 843. Dow is finding the most strength here in the day. You're looking for the break of this level 44.4 to push into 44.6, then 44.7, like we talked about right here, right? Boom, and then you went berserk. Funny enough is you just kept going bonkers, and you've kind of still been doing that. So now you're getting a little bit of a rotation, and it's important to understand what's happening there as well. It's not just one area of the market. It's everything kind of happening right now, and that is what's going on. Like, you're not just seeing just semis. You're not seeing just tech. You're seeing now the Dow, your energy, banks, healthcare, right? XLF. Look at XLF financials at all-time highs, right? Important to understand this. XLF banks are mounting all-time highs. Incredible close on the day. XLI, industrials, Caterpillar, John Deere. I can go on a laundry list of names, right? Breaking all-time highs, pushing out. XLV, healthcare has been one of the worst sectors, right? Trying to find a bottom, trying to push back into the 200 SMA. Important to realize, Eli Lilly's been getting torched. UNH has been getting torched. You can be trying to find a bottom there. You find buyers here. This is very illiquid back up. And I'm not saying you recover back into highs, but I'm just saying you're seeing the entire market, the entire scope of the market get a lot of love here. Again, it's not just one area. It's not just semis and tech. It's everything. And when that starts to happen, it has to get you more excited. Okay? But again, I still think you got to keep your head on a swivel based off of what Trump and what's happening on July 9th. We'll see what happens. Okay, I don't want to predict, but we'll see what happens. Now, favorite stocks going into next week. Okay, number one, let's talk about Tesla. So obviously, Tesla and Trump has gone. Elon and Trump have gone at it again. However, I might regret it. I really might regret it. This is like the second time this has happened. I probably should have went long on Tesla here to end the day. I really should have. But you're filling the gap, so I was just a little cautious. But you're back above the 200 SMA, 314, 315, and you're holding. And worth mentioning, go to the 4-hour chart, you're back in that box. I think Tesla actually has room back into 325 conservatively, back into 330. As long as you're above 315, the risk reward is awesome. Might be one of my top trades going into tomorrow. If I trade anything, be watching that. If you're below the 200 SMA, it's a short, not a long at all. So clear stop losses here. It's just those are some of the best trades you can get when you understand where your stops are, where your targets are. Everything's clear and defined. You don't really have to think too much about it. That's really what you want. And that's where we're at right now. So important to understand that and know what you're looking for there. A step further from this, NVIDIA's all-time high. I'm not going to go into NVIDIA. There's no real point. Apple, I'd be watching Apple. As long as you're above 211 here, you're chilling. Big trade alert, though, here on Apple. Could be a top play. Again, you get Tyler Wilson, top plays. What can I say? We love to see him. A retest of 214. I think you are cooking. I think you are looking for 219, 219.5 in a hurry. And then the 200 SMA. Again, Apple's been weak. You're finding buyers where you need to. You love to see it. Absolutely. Chef's kiss. Okay. Amazon, another big name here as well. Going into the 15-minute, you can see you are still making higher lows here. We want to see, can we hold up? Above 221, I think you're trying to break out. I like it a lot. Be careful, though. It's a little tough here, but as long as you're making high lows, you're looking for the continuation to the upside, okay? Big name here, Meta, really pulling back right now. Kind of shocked. A big fan of this. Back into 711, it might be a major, major buying opportunity. Be watching that above 725. I think confirmation back into highs. So what I'm looking at there as well. No real confusion. Really simple. CrowdStrike, another big chart here. Another name I was looking at. Basically, I want to be really, really clear with just my viewpoint of why I didn't start to hammer trades and go long today. I I believe that you're gonna get trash action most likely until the end of the week. So I'm just trying to like be as patient as possible until tomorrow. That might come back to bite me in the butt. It might not. Overnight action has been so back and forth that I'm not trying to predict it. There's no point for me to do that. And the reward opportunity just doesn't make any sense. CrowdStrike, it's holding your previous all-time high here, 490 right before earnings. I mean, above 491, pretty incredible. You look here at the 15-minute, you're clear as day holding above that. Looks really good, back over 500. I'd be watching that as well. I mentioned you haven't had a lot of trade opportunities, but you do now. Coinbase, crypto names look really good. As long as Coinbase is above 350, very strong as well. MicroStrategy, another big name here, getting above 404, 405. I think it's another long as well. Another monster name. Be watching that as well. Again, you're just finding strength in these names now. This is what you wanted to see. You haven't found them, but now you're getting the strength back into them, right? Google, super interesting, above 176. I think it's a long. Big resistance at 181, over 181. I think you're going to start moving quick to the upside, so watch that as well. Big fan. Love it a lot. Very strong. A lot of people are interested in Palantir. Palantir, I'm only looking to go long back above 133. You're just sitting there rejecting all day. I told Discord this. You just never got the mount above it. Making higher lows looks fine, but need to get above 133.5, 134 to go long back into 140-ish. That's what I'd be looking at there. Nothing to overcomplicate, nothing to really like look too in detail with. It's really that simple for me and what I'm watching for there as well. Those are my biggest, those are my strongest names that I'm watching out there in the market. Again, I think you'll lose your mind trying to overcomplicate it, find the perfect entry, perfect strategy, but just go into the market with having a plan, knowing what you're looking for, why you're looking for it, and then adjust from there as well. And it's okay that like you might adjust your plan intraday if you think you missed something overall, like I did with Dow yesterday, right? But it's important to understand why and have a kind of a method to the madness as well with what you're doing and why you're doing it. The Discord link is down below, Twitter link, all that is there as well. I appreciate all of you. Have a good one, traders. I'll see you tomorrow.